Hey, I'm Brad Willey with Big Woods Bucks.
And I'm Lawson Glidden with -33.
And we're here to do a winter plunge with -33 gear and our Big Woods Bucks gear. What I'm wearing today is a 22-ounce Big Woods Bucks tracker jacket and the 18-ounce Big Woods Bucks wool pants. Underneath, all I wear usually throughout hunting season, about 90% of the time, is my -33 base layer top and my -33 base layer bottom with my -33 socks. I wear the liner and then another sock on top of that. That is 90% of the time when I'm in the woods, that's what I'm wearing.
And we're gonna show today how this very cold water is, handled in a survival setting with all of this wool that he's wearing, and we'll get into the technical aspects, and we'll also get into the survival aspects of what Brad does when he falls in the water.
In my Big Woods pack here, I have my little survival kit, if you will. Okay, this is in a waterproof pouch because I depend on it greatly. And I go by the rule of 1 is none, 2 is 1. So I have 2 ignition sources. I have some storm matches in here, okay, with I call them Ranger bands. It's rubber, all right, basically a bike inner tube you could use, all right, but it will ignite even if it's wet. I have some duct tape, which is also very flammable, good for starting a fire. I have my compass, which I always have 2 compasses on me. Again, 1 is none, 2 is 1. I have my emergency blanket, and then I have my second source of ignition, just a simple lighter. In case things get moist in here, because we do have a really good water repellent liner inside, as you can see, this orange liner right here, all right? I keep everything else that I may depend on if I'm getting cold, and I keep them in Ziploc bags. All right, so I have my hat, which I don't wear very often, but again, when I need it, it's there. And I don't wear gloves very often, but I do have my Big Woods Bucks gloves in here. And again, I keep that in a nice Ziploc bag to make sure that everything's dry when I need it.
What does it say? 32.4. That is pretty cold water.
So once I take the plunge here, my expectations, first of all, is it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be really cold.
Well, I think the first thing that's going to happen is Brad is going to get very cold, and it's going to be pretty surprising. As soon as he gets out and he starts moving around, the natural air pockets that are formed in wool as part of the actual fiber, the kinks and crimps in the wool, will immediately start to form a barrier that he can start to warm up.
When I get wet, I'm obviously gonna be cold. I'm gonna count on what I count on all the time, and that's wool. I would never go in the woods without my wool. So when I get out, I gotta depend on the properties of the wool and start getting warm right away. And that can be anything. I can run in place, I could do some push-ups if I wanted to, anything, some squats, anything to keep me warm. Then I'm gonna get right into survival mode, which is getting a fire going. Wool's doing its job. Coldest thing on me right now is my hands. Feet are obviously soaked, but now it's turning into like just warm moisture. There's no other way I'd go in the woods. Always have my wool on me. So just took a real good fall in a brook. This has definitely happened to me before. I need to get all the water out of the boots as much as possible. So, take my boot off. It's gonna be a little suction. Pour that out. Just kind of wring that out a little bit. Because I want to keep going if I can in the woods, especially if I'm on a good one. So just wring that up the best I can. Take my liner out, shake that out. Yeah, you hear some slushing in there, but I'm good. One thing, when you have the wool on, it's going to keep you warm. It's going to add a little bit of weight, but that's no big deal when you're moving. I've had days with just sweat. I've been soaked, a little bit of rain. And then obviously in the Northeast, our weather is just everywhere. It could be rain in one moment, snow, and then bright sun, and then it's 40 degrees. And I've basically dried all the way up. Just everything's dry. And probably a good time to cook my sandwich over the fire. That's it. Now it's time to just keep getting after it. The pack obviously took the dunk too, and everything is just really dry in here. So this orange 400 layer that we call it is absolutely paramount for the inside of this pack, and it really does its job. It's in the big pouch, and it's also in the small pouch, as you can see here.
So we all just saw Brad fall into the water, and then, you know, just a few minutes later after he made this fire, basically the only part of him that's cold is the part that doesn't have the wool on it. It's his hands, you know, had to climb through the snow. But the wool itself is already insulating him and keeping the heat that his body's producing inside the shell. If he was wearing cotton, if he was wearing synthetic, he would just have a conductive layer on him, like a piece of sheet metal, just radiating the heat out of him. The second he got out of that water, he started heating up to the point where he's comfortable.
Yeah, I'm actually very comfortable. The dampness that I feel is obviously in my boots.
Yep.
Right? But it's warm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what happens is, again, you're going to add a little bit of weight from the water, but it's all just by gravity. It's going towards the bottom of your coat. So it's a little wet here, but I'm warm. You know, if one thing proved anything to me today, I've never been completely submersed in water.
Yep.
Total confidence. I wouldn't go out in the woods with anything else. If you're going to be prepared in the woods, you better have good base layers such as -33, and you better have good wool gear such as Big Woods Bucks gear.